Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving headfirst into a truly fascinating celestial event, the total solar eclipse of August 12th, 2026. But look, we aren't just going to talk about the astronomy here. We're going to explore its deep, profound spiritual significance. We're unpacking an event that perfectly merges cosmic phenomena with ancient traditions. We're going to look at what this specific eclipse meant astrologically, how it connects to some incredibly powerful symbolism, and, most importantly, the traditional practices recommended for spiritual protection. In many ancient cultures, the sky was a giant cosmic clock, but it was also a spiritual map. And when an event as dramatic as a total solar eclipse happens, it forces us to pause and look a little deeper. So let's just get right into it. What esoteric mysteries does the Aslesha Nakshatra hide within the shadow of a solar eclipse? Eclipses have literally always captivated us, right? They're these rare moments where the veil between the physical and the spiritual just thins out. For a few breathtaking minutes, the normal rules of day and night are completely suspended. But when an eclipse happens in a highly charged, symbolically intense sector of the sky like Aslesha, wow, it unlocks a whole new layer of meaning. Let's peel back those layers right now. Section 1. The Aslesha Solar Eclipse. All right, so on August 12th, 2026, a total solar eclipse sweeps across the globe. And this isn't just a minor blip. It casts a massive shadow starting way up in the icy landscapes of Greenland and Iceland, and it stretches all the way down into northern Spain, with partial eclipses visible across much of Europe, North Africa, and North America. Imagine the sheer scale of that for a second, a creeping dusk moving silently across oceans and continents right in the middle of the day. It's a stunning astronomical reality, the moon passing exactly between the Earth and the Sun, temporarily turning day into night, dropping the temperature and just quieting the natural world. But for ancient traditions, this physical shadow is really just the beginning of the story. It's the visible sign of a much deeper, invisible shift. Section 2. Astrology of the alignment. In Vedic astrology, the sky is divided into lunar mansions, or nakshatras. If you think about it, it's kind of like specific neighborhoods in the night sky. Each one has its own unique characteristics, its own ruling deities, and its own distinct vibe. Well, this eclipse occurred directly within the Aslesha Nakshatra. And why is that a big deal? Because Aslesha is traditionally associated with incredibly intense serpent energy, the Nagas. So right off the bat, we've got this massive celestial event, the darkening of the sun, happening in one of the most symbolically charged, intensely mystical sectors of the entire zodiac. It's basically like turning off the lights in a room that is already buzzing with high-voltage electricity. To really grasp this, we've got to talk about the Rahu Ketu axis. In traditional astrology, eclipses don't just happen randomly out of nowhere. They happen along this invisible line. Rahu and Ketu represent the head and the tail of a symbolic cosmic serpent that actually swallows the sun or the moon during an eclipse. And this specific eclipse, it's described as occurring from the tail of that cosmic serpent, Ketu. Now, this isn't just poetic language, okay? It marks a highly potent alignment. Ketu is all about the past, deep spirituality, and sudden release. It's a huge marker of focused, intense cosmic energy intersecting right here with our earthly plane. During this eclipse, we have three major celestial bodies lined up incredibly close to one another: the sun, the moon, and Ketu. When these three get this close, traditional astrology treats it like a crucible of energy. The physical darkening of the sun is completely mirrored by a spiritual intensification. You literally have the luminary of the self, the luminary of the mind, and the mystical point of spiritual liberation converging all at once. And it's exactly this specific combination, the sun, moon, and Ketu, all hanging out inside the serpent-ruled Aslesha Nakshatra, that gives this 2026 eclipse its incredibly unique high-octane signature. Section 3. The Serpent's Cosmic Energy. So because of this tight connection with the Naga deities, traditional interpretations view this eclipse as marking the symbolic tail of the serpent. In fact, some ancient texts and practitioners literally describe this as the last wave of Naga energy reaching the earthly plane. I mean, just think about that imagery for a second. A massive cosmic wave of ancient energy washing right over the earth. It sounds super dramatic, but in traditional practice, you don't look at this with panic or fear. Instead, you approach it with calm, grounded reverence. Eclipses are understood as natural, cyclical shifts in the cosmic tides. It's literally the serpent shedding its skin to make way for the new. So what does this actually mean for our day-to-day lives? The core advice here is to expect the unexpected. This kind of alignment signals a time where things unfold in totally unanticipated ways. But hey, I want to be super clear here because it's so easy to hear serpent eclipse and think doom and gloom. Unexpected absolutely does not mean negative. It just means your path forward might twist and turn in ways you couldn't possibly predict. Kind of like the slithering movement of a serpent itself, right? It's all about disrupting our predictable routines, shaking us out of our comfort zones, and clearing the path for totally fresh, unseen developments. Section 4. Protection through Sacred Mantra. Knowing we're navigating these unpredictable cosmic currents, what exactly are we supposed to do? Well, during eclipse periods tied to this intense serpent energy, traditional practice turns to Lord Shiva, specifically in his form as Nageshwara. And Nageshwara translates directly to the Lord of Serpents. The logic here is just absolutely beautiful. If you're dealing with overwhelming serpent energy, you naturally seek protection and blessings from the deity who masters, commands, and literally wears the serpents as ornaments. It's a profound way of taking all that chaotic, unexpected energy and grounding it into a force for serious spiritual resilience. And how exactly do you invoke that protection? Through sacred sound, the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra. The core phrase is Om Trayambakam Yajamahe. This is easily one of the most revered, powerful mantras in the entire Shiva tradition. It's chanted specifically for protection, deep healing, and for building rock-solid spiritual resilience during intense astrological periods, exactly like this Aslesha eclipse. Think of it as your anchor in the storm. It uses sound vibrations to completely harmonize your mind and spirit when the cosmos is in a state of total flux. Let's break down how you actually put this into practice because it's highly accessible. Traditional guidelines suggest doing this in the evening, right around 10 p.m. on the day of the eclipse, once the energies start to settle down. You just sit quietly and chant the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra, either 108 times, or you can do a shorter, really potent cycle of 21 times. And by the way, in Vedic traditions, 108 is a highly sacred number representing the absolute wholeness of existence. Fun fact, the distance between the Earth, Sun, and Moon relative to their diameters actually reflects this 108 ratio perfectly. Usually you'd use a mala, a string of beads, to keep your count. What's great about this is that it gives you a highly actionable, empowering step. Instead of just passively letting the eclipse happen to you, you're actively engaging with the energy. You're using ancient technology to center and protect yourself. All right, let's pull all of this together. We've gone on a real journey from shadow to light here. The August 2026 total solar eclipse wasn't just a physical shadow passing over the Earth. It fell right in the highly charged Aslesha Nakshatra. It activated the potent Rahu Ketu axis, bringing this huge wave of Naga energy down to the earthly plane. And yeah, while this definitely signals a period of unexpected twists and turns, ancient traditions do not leave us without a compass. We ground ourselves, we find our center, and we seek protection by chanting the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra. It is the perfect balance of cosmic awe and practical spiritual resilience. So I want to leave you with a question to really reflect on. If you observed this celestial event, or honestly, if you've ever practiced the Maha Mrityunjaya mantra during any time of unexpected change, how did it impact your own spiritual resilience? Eclipses are this beautiful reminder that our universe is vast, dynamic, and yeah, sometimes a bit unpredictable, but we always have the internal tools to navigate it. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. I absolutely love breaking down these fascinating intersections of astronomy and ancient wisdom, and I really hope this gave you some clear, structured insight into the Serpent's eclipse. Keep learning, stay grounded, and I will see you next time.